Hi, welcome to today's video. This video is looking at what is a planetary boundary. Now, you might have heard this word called planetary boundary. So, planetary boundary is, of course, are a set of 9 planetary boundaries within which humanity can continue to develop and thrive for generations to come. Hello, welcome to this video. So today I'm going to explain what is planetary boundary. You might have heard about this word called planetary boundaries in the context of climate change and human impact in the environment. Now the question here is that what is the limit of human impact that we can do? Now what is the amount of freshwater depletion that we can do? What is the amount of ocean acidification that we can do? What is the limit of deforestation that we can do? So planetary boundaries are certain boundaries within which human beings can still live, survive and thrive. So basically planetary boundaries concepts was of course developed by the scientists, and significantly at the Stockholm Resilience Institute at the University of Stockholm, group of scientists made significant progress in creating some of the measures as well as assessing what is the degree in which that we have crossed some of these planetary boundaries, or whether or not we have crossed some of these boundaries or not. So in very brief, planetary boundary is a set of 9 planetary boundaries within which humanity can continue to develop and thrive for the generations to come. Now if we look at what are these boundaries and what are the boundaries that we have already crossed. So the historical assessment of the planetary boundaries which start from 2009 and then in 2015 and 2023 last year significantly shows that how these boundaries were crossed. Now first of all, you see here how 7 boundaries were assessed here, and then out of that how 3 of them were crossed. So you have 3 of these boundaries that are marked here as crossed in 2009, and in the year 2015 you have 7 boundaries were assessed. Out of that 4 boundaries were crossed. So you see 4 boundaries crossed here and are marked here as biosphere integrity, climate change, land system change, and also biochemical flows in 2015. And then recently last year you have 9 boundaries which were assessed, and then out of that how 6 boundaries were crossed. So you see red marked here for 6 of these parameters, and how 6 of them out of 9 has been crossed. So what we see out of the planetary boundary framework or the planetary boundary calculation is that significantly our planet has crossed 6 boundaries out of 9, and that is not just a depiction in the colors in this pictures, but also in terms of the real life changes that we have had throughout these years as significant impact by human being in the planet, in terms of climate change, in terms of the change in the biosphere, in terms of the land system change, in terms of the ocean acidification, in terms of changes in the fresh water, even atmospheric aerosol in that sense. So that is the kind of change that we as human beings have had in the planet, and that is the planetary boundaries framework kind of shows. So of course what we need is that if we have to change, of course, not only climate change but also multiple other ecological catastrophes and the ecological crisis, we have to really work hard to reverse all of these indicators into sustainable limits where we can still live and thrive. Thank you. So this is from the Stockholm Resilience Institute's measurements and calculation of the planetary boundaries. So you would see here they have done this with nine significant boundaries that we could cross, or we could measure whether or not if we have crossed them. Now you see here the atmospheric aerosol loading. You would see ocean acidification from human activities. You would see biochemical flows. You would see the freshwater change. You would see the freshwater use as well as the green water. You would see the land system change. What is the nature of the land system change by human beings? You would see biosphere integrity. You would also see CO2 concentration and radioactive forcing in climate change, or the measurement of for climate change. And you will see novel entities, and you would also see stratospheric ozone depletion as well. So the recent estimates actually suggest very significant crossing of or increasing of some of these boundaries that are limited by, or have been calculated by the scientists.